Now with breaking news.
We're asking all that can, that believe in prayer, to pray, because there are a lot of victims.
Happening right now, disturbing investigation into child sex abuse material involving several school faculty members and a police officer in Aliceville. This afternoon, we're hearing from city leaders and a parent on the developing situation there. Thanks for joining us at 4. I'm Guy Rawlings.
And I'm Brittany Decker. A large investigation by multiple agencies had led to the arrest of these 5 people. District Attorney Andrew Hamlin says that those people are 3 members of Aliceville High School faculty, 1 Aliceville Elementary faculty member, and 1 Aliceville police officer. They are all facing charges connected to child sexual abuse material. So the first arrest that came earlier this month, that's when we first told you about this. Aliceville High School math teacher Roderick Granger was arrested on multiple felony charges related to child pornography. And then later today, we learned that Letitia Watkins was arrested for possession of child porn and using position for personal gain. She's listed on the Aliceville Elementary School website as a 4th grade teacher.
Aliceville police officer Kaminian Gary was also arrested. His charges include production of child porn, child molestation, and sexual abuse. Winston Bishop, who works at Aliceville High School, was arrested for child porn and drug-related charges. And Antavius Belgrave, arrested on several charges, including indecent exposure, sexual misconduct, and distributing a private image. Belgrave is listed as an employee with Pickens County Board of Education.
Hamlin says the investigations from his office, Aliceville Police, the State Bureau of Investigation, and the Department of Homeland Security investigations led to these arrests. And Hamlin says the investigation is not over and more people could be arrested.
Let's go out to Pickens County right now. WVTM 13's Lisa Crane has been speaking with several people there today.
She is joining us live from Aliceville Elementary School this evening. Lisa, what have you learned at this hour?
Well, this is a small community, only about 2,000 residents here, and it is very tight-knit. You can see Aliceville Elementary School behind me here, the high school, the only other school in town, just less than a mile down the road here. And one thing I heard repeatedly today is just how shocking this news has been for residents. And as you mentioned, 5 people arrested, 3 work at Aliceville High School, 1 at the elementary school, and another is an Aliceville police officer. That officer is Kamion Gary, also known as Kamion Hughes. The chief tells me he's been with the department 3 or 4 years. At this point, he is on unpaid administrative leave. Now, we spoke to some parents as they were picking up their kids here at the elementary school today. One grandmother who's raising her 3 grandchildren says she knows 2 of the people who were arrested very well, and she's having a hard time wrapping her head around what they're accused of. She says Miss Wilkins taught her grandson last year in 4th grade.
To me, she's a really good person. I think she made a bad decision of not turning it in to the proper authority, because she really is a good teacher. And I know it really shocked me at the high school about Mr. Granger, because him and my granddaughter are really close. He really helped her with the math.
Now, the police chief told me today that he did not know one of his officers was under investigation until that officer was arrested by the State Bureau of Investigation. He and the mayor are asking for prayers for these victims and for the entire community. They will hold a prayer vigil here on Saturday at 4 p.m. at City Hall. Live in Aliceville, Lisa Crane, WVTM.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 11. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. Kol Holayim La, Abanawa, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakat, Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and other bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and the byways. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Salutations to you speckled birds, you Israelite foreigners. And shalom to the Akwaf, sitting and listening in silence as the scriptures say to do so. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 11. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. And these are the customs, the wicked, abominable ways of the heathen, and especially of Esau Edom, man. You know, as the beloved elder Kasap stated in one of the camp lessons, that all you people here in Babylon the Great have the mentality, the spirit of those same people on the Epstein files. That's all it is, man. All you people literally are a splitting image of Epstein. Okay, you Israelites are not to have fellowship, to not partake, to be involved with the work, the philosophy, the customs of the workers of darkness, which are the Edomites, man. But our people indulge heavy in their customs. Jake dominates in wickedness, man. And for you Jakes, man, and all these people on the screen right here, as you see right here on these mug shots, all these people got demons on them, man. You don't see no remorse, no sympathy, no regret, okay, nothing of that on their face, on their spirit, man. And also too, Salakia, because we gotta be as balanced as possible. These people might just be chocolate covered Edomites, okay? Because you can't say that everybody's a Jake just because they look like Jake. Because you have Edomites, you have people, Salaki, that look like Israelites that are actually Edomites. Okay, because they have, a Negro or Latino, Hispanic, or Native Central Indian mother, but I have a heathen father, Edomite, etc. Okay, so we really can't say per se, but also too, and I'm not, trying to defend, I'm just stating the facts. Also too, Jake is wicked, man. Jake does indulge in stuff like this and think it's okay, but also too, we know in our law, in the way that Yahweh Shem Yahweh structured and brought forth the earth, you're literally an adult as a man at the age of 12, and you're literally an adult for a woman when you begin your cycle, your flower. Okay, and whether you like it or not, because everybody is indoctrinated with this Western philosophy, and it has to be a purge and a restoration for the whole world in general, but especially for our nation. Okay, the old ways are going to come back, and which are the correct ways. Okay, so again, Ephesians 5 verse 11, and have no fellowship. Okay, that's anything in this world, because everything in this world, again, is contaminated, is corrupted, is perverse, is wicked, is evil, is filthy. Every single thing in this world is not right. Everything is upside down. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, because the unfruitful works of darkness obviously lead you to be disobedient, rebellious, to continue to transgress against Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and do stuff like this, man. Because this is wicked, man. This is wicked. Okay? Period, man. Regardless if these so-called children, which you had, I think, oh man, I really can't remember exactly everything that was stated and said, but even if the so-called children that were in high school consented, now even though we know the truth and understand, but still, this is Esau's kingdom. It's his, the way he structures it is the way he structures it. But again, Esau's a hypocrite, man. He's a big, matter of fact, let's let the Bible talk. Okay, because this devil, you got all these people on these files, but what do? They televise stuff like this. They put Jake to the forefront, and all these people, which again, maybe Jake, so-called Jake, might be Jake, we don't know. Just because they look like Jake, again, don't mean they are Jake. But if they are Jake, hey, it is what it is, man. Okay, but they'll find a brown face to post up to get the heat off of them, when they doing way worse than this, man. They out here, man. I ain't gonna go into detail what is being said and what is done, but y'all know what was on them files and what they do and how they was doing it. So this is the book of Job, chapter 20, and I'm gonna read verse 5. That the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. And that's what this damn devil is, man. He's a hypocrite, and his triumphing is being shortened. As it's stated in the book of Job, he has a time appointed that he cannot pass. Roughly paraphrasing, I believe Job chapter 14, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so he has a time appointed that he cannot pass. Okay, so his triumphing and his his wicked endeavors and everything that he has prospered in this world is coming to an end. Okay, and you Israelites that gravitate towards these customs of the world, man, may Yahweh Shem Yahweh destroy you too, man. Because ain't none of this stuff right. None of it. Again, even if the people that's in high school consented and they was down for it and everything else, we still have to follow the laws of the land, man. Okay, and Esau's laws said you cannot. Well, you know, some places in Babylon, in these states, you know, you have the age. I think the early age is 16, where they can consent and be considered as an adult. You know, some 17, and then obviously 18, you're legally an adult. But I believe the youngest is 16, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, but again, you know, Esau have all this exposure going on about him, but he'll put up an Israelite face to show, you know, hey, look at them, look what they doing. You know, just to take the what's the word looking for, Salaki? Just to take the attention off of him. Okay, but all these things are but for a moment. But again, you know, Jake wants to be like his big brother. Jake wants to be like Big Brother E. And a lot of these Israelites, you know, I was having a conversation with a brother last week before camp. A lot of these Israelites are really seeking validation from Big Brother E, instead of seeking validation, acceptance, forgiveness from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay? And that's why a lot of these Negroes, Hispanics, Native and Seminole Indians got to go. Even the ones that claim they ain't the truth, man. Okay? So this is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father, the devil. Okay? Which is Esau, Edom. So you are your father. You are of your father. You are a duplicate. You mimic. You're a clone of Esau, Edom, because you want to do everything he does. And as a matter of fact, you want to show him how it's done. You basically telling him he doing it wrong. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so this is St. John chapter 8, verse 44. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. Okay, because also, too, in those Epstein files, you got Jake's, you know, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Chris Tucker, you know, I think Pusha T was on there, too. You know, you got all these Israelites, you know, partaking in, again, in their philosophies and their customs, man. Why do you think these people are so and still relevant at the age of 40 to 50? Because Jay-Z is what, like 49, close to 50 or 50? I really can't remember. And I think Pusha T and his brothers, I think his brother's in his 50s. And I think Pusha T is close to 50. So how are these old Israelites, these old niggas, still relevant? Because Esau runs the system and they have submitted to Esau. Okay, as it states, and the lust of your father you will do. So whatever Esau commands, they will do. Because you don't just submit and commit one thing. You got to keep on submitting and keep on going higher and higher to submit your alliance to them. Okay, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. Okay, and you know that's really all we need for this precept, which it goes into more, but that's really all we need. You know, because one of the things that they lust for is vile, man. It's profane outside the temple. And a lot of these Israelites right here, look at these charges, man. No bond. All dealing with children, man. Fourth grade, man. This is one I'm right here. I saw fourth grade, man. What are you, like 7 or 8 in fourth grade? That's wicked, man. Look at all these, man. Look at all these charges, man. Possession. Child, you know, failure to report. He tried to run from the jail. $1 million bond. But you see, you know, hey man, it is what it is, man. You know, they doing this shit. You know, may they rot. But you don't see Esau, anybody from them Epstein files, getting you know, arrested, put in jail. But yet you see Jake getting arrested and put in jail. But look at this stuff, man. This is wicked, man. This is wicked. Okay, so you got these are the people that's work for the elementary school right here, and then you got the high school right here. Okay, no bond. Okay, and again, you get what you deserve. You did this crime, and it's other judgments that's supposed to be done for it. $1 million bond. You know damn well they ain't gonna get out no $1 million bond. Salakia. You do it. You gotta go for the judgment, man, which we know Esau's judgment is not right. And look at this nigga's face, man. Look at both of these niggas' faces, man. These wicked niggas, man. Look at these two niggas right here, man. You know this one nigga right here was his Gary, last name Gary. He looked like a fake thug. How the fuck did he get a job in the school? How the fuck did he get a job in school? And this dude right here, Winston Bishop. Come on, man. Come on, man. Can't make this up, man. But let's continue, man. Because, you know, Esau does way worse stuff than this, man. But, Jake, you get what you deserve, man. You know, you're not exempt. You're doing stuff like this. Hey, man, may Yahweh Shem Yahweh bring forth his wrath upon you, man. So this is Psalms chapter 50. And I'm going to start off verse 16 to 20. But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? You know, because they make it seem like they're God-fearing people, that they actually have some type of morals and standards, when they're completely against the standards, the guidelines, the commandments, the instructions of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. When they make up their own guidelines, standards, instructions, laws, etc. Okay? Matter of fact, verse 17, seeing thou hatest instructions and cast my words behind thee. Okay, so, you know, they'll do all these things and they'll tell people, do what I say, but don't do what I do. But, you know, daggone well in this society, because Esau's, you know, he's a crafty, fraudulent devil, man. He'll say, do what I say, but don't do what I do. But yet he'll advertise and produce what he does amongst society, man. You know, he'll have Jake, you know, put it in the music, and he'll have it in the movies. He'll have it in all these things, but yet you're not supposed to do it. And this man, again, he's a hypocrite, man. Psalms 50 verse 18, when thou sawest a thief, then thou contendest with him, and has been partaker with adulterers. Now, you know, first and foremost, like, this is really talking about Israel, but we can still apply this to the damn devil. Okay, so, and we know that he's a thief. He's the top thief. He steals any and everything. Okay, any and everything. He wants everything. And, you know, like the beloved elder Malcolm said in his lesson prior, you know, he'll have everything that he wants. He'll have all the cars in the world, but just because he doesn't have the car that you want, he wants your car. I don't have that one, so I want yours. Verse 19, thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Okay, because, you know, you can't trust these people, man. Okay, and it tells you in the Bible, man, you know, that he has a lying tongue, man. Okay, verse 20, thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, and slanderest thine own mother's son. And that's what he continuously does to Jake, man. He sitteth and slanders our nation left and right, and speak against us, when he's actually the one supplying the necessary tools to accomplish that wickedness. And he's also going above and beyond in his wickedness and doing what he's blaming us for. So like, not blaming us, but blaming our people for. Okay, this man is the damn devil, man. But let's close out, man. The point is made, because it's going to be judgment, man. It's going to be judgment for you wicked Israelites, but damn sure for you you Edomites, man. Because I knew this was going. I knew sooner or later, we know, with the Epstein files coming out, that you was going to see something like this. Which again, it was done. You know, they deserve their judgment. They deserve their punishment. But how come nobody on them Epstein files ain't getting arrested? How come nobody on them Epstein files is not being taken to trial? Okay, not being sentenced to the death penalty or life in prison. Okay, because this man's a damn hypocrite. And furthermore, if that happens, there won't be no government. There won't be no Congress. There won't be no nothing, man. Which that's really the end goal, man, because they're really transitioning what they have right now with the government, the judicial system, the legislative system, and the executive system, which is the three branches of government. That's going to be obsolete, man. They're formulating a new structure, which is going to be marketed by the MOTB. So this is Romans 12. Verse 10, I'm going to read a little bit of this. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and the strength in the kingdom of our power and the power of his Hamashiach, For the accuser, you Edomites, okay, you damn devils, you red silverback cave gorillas, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, who accused them before our power day and night. So it's only going to be a matter of time for this devil finally gets what he deserves. And guess what? When the Lord bring it, it's a wrap, man. It's a wrap. And we patiently waiting for Yahweh Shem Yahweh to bring forth that judgment, man. So I don't want to write this out, man. I hope and I pray that this is edifying, uplifting, and informative to the truth and say Aki and Wa Akwaf. So with that, I'm just going to say Shalom.